because this is important, and this is something that was a light bulb to me not that long ago. In this video, I'm going to tell you why exactly people buy your products, and you might be surprised, so stay till the end to figure out. So, people buy tons of stuff on the internet every day, in retail, less and less, but they still buy it, groceries, you name it. There's people buying everywhere, even in a troubled economy. Well, why do people actually buy things? Well, I gave Google a little search, and what it came up with was a bunch of results answering that exact question. And the first result that came up, it says people buy products or services based on the emotional needs or wants, and then justify their purchase logically. So think about that for a second. Whenever you're buying something, right, whether it's a new car, a new TV, or maybe you're trying to sell something, right? So you're trying to sell a TV or sell a car or sell a service for consulting or a fitness program or whatever it is. You would think that they would want to hear about, the horsepower and the engine and the radio specs and all that stuff, right? The cool stuff, right? You'd think, wow, they must love all these different features, so I got to describe them all to them. And some people do. And some people want to hear that, and eventually they do want to hear it because they're going to justify their purchase with that. They're going to say, well, this was a good purchase because it came with the radio or it came with this. But do you ever see those commercials for Mazda or, any of the other major car brands, Toyota, or, really any company out there that's major that is trying to do brand awareness? They make you feel something. Like, think of Apple. Every time I see an Apple commercial, it makes me either tear up or get fired up or want to dance. And it's because they make you feel something and they attach that emotion to the product by subliminally including it. Now, if you want to use that power, because really it's a superpower, if you can use the power of emotion, right, whether it's fear or anger or lust or happiness or envy or whatever it is, to your advantage to move somebody through the buyer journey, then you can stand out, you can capture their heart, and you can hold on to them for dear life. And they're going to be holding on to you, giving you money, and they're going to want to do business with you and justify later with your features and benefits. So before I started my copywriting courses, I thought, oh, well, the features, those are really cool and people care about that, but it's really about the benefits, so like how it helps them. And I thought, oh, well, if you get a car, it helps you get to work faster. But that's just so dry. There's nothing different between that car and another car. And really at the heart of it, there's a problem that you're trying to solve when you buy a new car. You're sick and tired of your car stalling out when you're in the middle of traffic, and there's people behind you honking, and you hear your heart racing, and you think you're gonna have a panic attack again. Or you can't get your kids to soccer practice on time because your car's not reliable, or whatever it is, or you were in a car accident. Like, all these different things, they have stories and they have emotion behind them, right? And so let's look at some different emotions, right? Because this is important, and this is something that was a light bulb to me not that long ago. So let's take a look at all the different emotions, and you don't have to be, a scientist to find one of these diagrams. So here's a ton of emotions, right? Happy, angry, sleepy, surprised, shy, bossy, sneaky, embarrassed. Anything that has an emotion tied to it is something that is going to have somebody's facial expression shifting, right? When you're sad, you're like, droopy, and you're kind of like, leaning over and you're about to cry. If you're happy and you're smiling, or if you're kind, you're smiling, you're being nice, you might have better posture, you want to look the part. When you're proud, same thing, you want to have a high chest and a smile and a high chin, all that stuff, right? That's not the rocket science. But the magic comes when you take these emotions and you attach it to your product and you drive home a result to achieve an emotion, right? So a classic example is weight loss. People who want to lose weight don't want to lose weight just because they'll be healthier. That's lame, right? Like, I mean, everybody wants to be healthier, but like, what's healthy enough? Like, what's good enough, right? Well, what if it was good enough to get you, more sex? Or if it was good enough for you, to qualify for a competition for bodybuilding, or if it would get you more friends, or you would finally make that sports team that you've, failed every single year to make because you're overweight or your time is out, or maybe you can fulfill your lifelong dream of becoming, one of the few in the proud Marines, or, something with the Navy SEALs or whatever branch of the military. There's all these different outcomes that people have. One of the things that I've always wanted to do is become a musician, a professional musician, and to blow up a brand using marketing, or something, anything, right? To be able to have people say that my music changed their life, and to make a ton of friends while I'm doing it. Because, being an introvert, I long for that. And it's not really about me here. This is about your customer, right? So I'm telling you my story, my motivation to wanting to become a musician, Same thing with when I was learning programming. I was lost. I wanted to build stuff, but I had no tools to do it. And I felt frustrated. And those were some of my emotions, feeling doubtful, feeling lost, feeling depressed, feeling, anxious because I didn't really know where to go, and overwhelmed, right? And then I found the right tutorials and the right, books and stuff. But that could be your product, right? In an ad, in an email, in a landing page, in an SEO result, in a phone call, in a direct mail, ad, or whatever it is, a billboard, a conversation, right? All that stuff, those emotions, that's going to get you the results you want. And the way you do that, I think, is you look at a product, right? So let's do a practical example of this. So I'm going to pick one that I was thinking that this one was kind of more difficult than something like weight loss. I think weight loss is actually pretty straightforward. But something like a TV, right? So to do this in practice, you look at a TV like this, right? Okay, so you're trying to sell this TV as an e-commerce store owner, and you're going to run your Facebook ad, and you're going to select people who like TVs and LG, or a competitor brand. You're going to say, look at my TV, look at my features or whatever. That's not going to get it done. If you want to sell this TV to anybody, right? And I mean anybody that's walking down the street that already has a TV, you're going to have to pull out the big guns. And the big guns come from those emotions, right? So what I would do, and I do this now, I will look up a list of emotions. Like, I'm a smart guy, I know what emotions are, but sometimes you forget because you feel a certain way most of the time, right? I feel stress, but I also feel happiness, jittery, all kinds of things, anxious, like in a good way and bad way, like all these emotions. You might forget about one because you haven't felt it in a while, or maybe you're not used to it, right? And maybe you don't take that angle from it. But like something like a TV, right? You think, okay, well, what's the experience like with a TV? What's the goal behind getting a TV? Well, it's for entertainment, right? You want to have a good time, right? So you want to be happier. You want to laugh. You want to, let's look at our emotions. You want to maybe be proud, for your family, if you bought it for your family and you're kind of like the breadwinner or whatever, like you're looking good for them, or kind if you're giving it to somebody else, excited, right? And so one thing you can do is, I was thinking about this the other day, TV is actually a really cool one because it's an entertainment medium, right? So like you have TV shows of all different genres. You have, comedy, right? So it makes you want to laugh. And then you have drama, which makes you want to anticipate or get excited or surprised or, curious, right? And all these different things. And the way I would sell a TV, and the way I think you should approach selling anything, including a TV, is you say, okay, instead of looking at the key features and what we offer, here's this LG TV, blah, 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 blah. Here's some reviews. Okay, that's all good stuff. You need that. But if you want to hook somebody and make them buy without even thinking about it, you got to talk about, don't you want, to laugh with your family, hysterically? Like, when's the last time you laughed hysterically at a show on CBS, with those bright lights shining back at you, and you're just sharing a great moment with the family? And then when's the last time that, an episode of 24 ended and you were like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next one, or whatever the hit show is at that time. Don't you want to experience that in a different way? You know, you're probably used to watching it on this TV that's way too far away, it's not big enough, or it might be too big. It doesn't, really bring out the emotion. Or maybe you're watching a sports game and you can't really hear and feel somebody, slamming down a dunk, in the final seconds of a game, or, something like that, right? Then you should try this TV. Now that was impromptu. It wasn't, scripted. So obviously there's some work to be done on it. But the point is that I'm not selling somebody on the 8-bit color or the 16.7 color depth or all this other crap, right? And I'm a tech person. I come from a programming background, right? And so this stuff is still interesting. It's kind of cool as a wall mount. Okay, I need this HDMI cable, but this is all dry. There's no emotion behind it unless you bring it. That's how you stand out. Whether you're a consulting service, a coach, if you have a retail business, if you're selling a TV, if you're selling a lifestyle with retail, or not retail, but with real estate, all those things, to differentiate yourself, there's probably a couple things you can do. You can make your price better. You can throw in a bonus. You can up your offer. All those things are great. They're tangible, they're logical, they will work. I've seen it work. But the thing that will really set you apart and attract people that will fall in love with you as a brand or as a person for, what you're offering them, whether it's a better lifestyle or a coping mechanism or that relaxation they've been waiting for, or that family time that you can't get back that they've just been longing for because their kids are too distracted by their phones. That stuff right there, that's the magnet. That's the thing that gets you, right? That's the thing that is going to hook somebody into buying from you. And it's powerful, and you should use it in a good way. I mean, there's people that do it in a bad way. They scare you into doing things that, taking a pill that you don't need or something where it doesn't help you, it has a negative effect on you, but you can avoid that. You can be somebody who takes the power of copywriting and illustrating emotion. You can take somebody who has a dream of getting together with their family and finally getting back to those Friday nights that you wish you had when you were a kid, where you're sitting down, you're eating popcorn, you're laughing hysterically together, even in tough times. You can do that. You can bring that to a consumer. You can bring that to a business. Somebody that's pulling their hair out, that is ready to go out of business, is scared, is pissed off, doesn't want to go back to a job because they're too damn good for that. And they know it. Frankly, they know it. And if you can communicate it in that way, using those words, using these emotions, right? You have to look at an emotion and say, how do I illustrate being angry? It's all the emotive stuff, right? The things you do when you're angry. You punch through a wall if you're crazy, or like crazy mad. If you're, somebody that's, pretty average with anger, you'll stomp around, right? Or whatever. Those things make the difference, right? And so I encourage you to look into those emotions more. Use emotion to drive your product first, not logic. Follow up with the logic, follow up with the offer and the call to action and the USP. You need all that, you really do. Because if you just hook them up with emotion, it's gonna sell short. It will still sell, but it will sell short. But if you do that first, you're gonna wow people. You wanna be able to read something and feel it, or make somebody feel something, right? If somebody's trying to lose weight, and it's like a 40-year-old mother that's had like 3 kids and she's having trouble with her metabolism and it's leftover weight, you might say something like, get rid of those dreaded love handles that you can't seem to get over so you can, rock your husband's world or whatever. Like something that like, bam, hits him right in the face. And I think you'll have more success with your selling in your life. And if you thought this was helpful, hit the like button, share it, comment below, say yes, it was helpful, and subscribe, because there's going to be more of this coming right your way because I want you to live a better life and I want you to be happier because you're succeeding with business. Take it easy. If you like this video, hit that like button so more people can see it. Jump on that subscribe button and slap that notification bell so you don't miss a single video from me on how to make more money online and live a happier life. There's a video right after this one, so stay tuned for that. Peace out for now.